Hello everyone, it's Agil and it's Talk and Talk with Agil and episode 4. Yes. Um so today I wanna little bit talk about stuff that happened actually recently. I was coming home and basically I took off the bus and then went to shop, and when I was going to shop I saw there's one girl in the bus stop, like she's just sitting face down and just kind of crying, or not didn't feel like she's doing good there. Basically, I went to shop to buy toilet papers, and then when I came back and I saw she's still there, so I just went to her to ask if you're okay, everything fine, and yeah, we just started chatting, and then she wasn't fine. Like she had really pumped eyes and crying really, and basically what happened is um her boyfriend, not boyfriend, like a guy she sees a month, and she was saying it's a guy I'm saying, and then sometimes saying it's a boyfriend, so laughing a different ways. And then she was basically what happened is he didn't support her in one thing, and because a few months back her parents divorced, decided to divorce, and it was big shock for her because they've been together for almost 25 years, and now they are divorcing, and she was like, I never really could imagine they will not be together one day. And to be honest, for me, I don't know how I would react if I grew up in UK, but for me, for my culture, for my background, I would be definitely shocked, really, and it would be a big impact in my life if I knew that when my parents are divorcing. And I just looked at her station from my point of view, and it really seemed like a very sad thing. And yeah, she, by the way, for parents, it's a worst time to tell your kids that you are divorcing when she's starting uni at September. It's definitely the worst time. But yeah, and on the other hand, you can't really, there's no good time to say something like that. But September is definitely the worst. Um, so yeah, why she went to see this boy, and she told him in advance, when they had a second date, I think. She told him that her parents are divorcing and she's feeling is upset about it, and he supported her in first time, but now it's kind of as this old divorce things getting really serious, um and she went to his place because she was feeling sad, and was asking her to kind of to be supportive for her, to be nice to her, I guess, or I don't know, maybe looking for a hug, because we sitting in bus stop and had really long time, which is fine. Um I was more than happy to help, I guess. um and yeah, and the second problem was, which really annoyed me, because she couldn't go home and cry at home, and because her housemate dated this guy, had one date with this guy, and now she can't go home and cry that I'm feeling more upset because of this guy is being a bad boy and not supporting me in my bad time. And yeah, she can't tell that to her housemate, and they're kind of good friends because they knew each other last year and moved in together now. And I was just little kind, it really annoyed me, not a little, even very much, as actually, because when did that time came, when you can't, your boys are ours and your best friendship, because like I thought real hours at times when um like in Sex and City, as there was like one episode when Carrie uh didn't go to meet Miranda because she had a date and she forgot about her meeting Miranda, her best friend. And I thought like these all things happened in '90s, and now we have more ability to be a better friend, to really support each other, and like in that times, like I don't think like she was supposed to go to her boyfriend to ask for the support, and she could just like if you have your older good friend in your house, like in next door, you can just ask her to hug you, to listen to you, and because I don't know, like it's kind of station like maybe you need to just talk or you just need to someone to sit next to you and just support you. I guess that's very important. Um, yeah, and then it reminded me actually one movie. I watched its trailer. Oh yeah, we are back now. And yeah, like it reminded me of that movie because it was like I've watched this trailer in summer, and it's about two girls get fired from job, and then they're best friends like a million years, and then they're deciding to go Vegas and have like a really good time. But in the airplane, they're meeting one guy, and then whole movie turns out to be these girls, these best friends fighting with each other over this boy, and he's like apparently like a hot boy based on Instagram standards, I guess, and yeah, like I was like kind of shocked, like because it's I thought like again like there are these times when two girls are fighting over one boy. I don't know even why people make these films, these movies, and who went to the cinema to watch these kind of movies. Like, are they going like to learn how to beat your friend over your boy you like? It's even like in the movie it doesn't say like in the trailer. Sorry, I didn't watch the whole movie. I can't give the, like a good reviews or something. But even like based on the review, it just says like they're just meeting this guy, not like a boyfriend or something. And it's I found it really really sad. And today I've watched this trailer of Ocean's 8. I think we need more movies like that. It's like that the whole cast is the women are women actors, actresses, and there's like a Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett. I love Kate Blanchett. And and there's a Rihanna, and also there's a Mindy Kaling. Mindy Kaling? Yes. Who else was there? Yeah, there's like a lots of like a big names, but anyways, I think like we need to watch movies like that to empower each other or women, especially, and think about like we can do all this together without the bad boys. We don't need bad boys to bring us together or to think um us to separate us or to make us feel like we're fragile. I'm saying a bad boy from my perspective as well because I think I had lots of bad boys in my life and who didn't like really separate me from my friends, but still like lots of shit happened and I have like lots of regrets at meeting them. So yeah, um, today's artist has nothing to do with bad boys. It's just something happened recently and I want to talk about it. But today's artist is Marc Blazel, whose work are really amazing. I first met his like I saw his works in Voy Up to Nancy, Voy Up to Mates Nancy, and yeah, it was really interesting what he was making, and he was getting like lots of views actually on Instagram as well, and yeah, I'm gonna chat to him and see what he been up to and how he makes his works and what's the background, and it's gonna be interesting. Excited.
I'm good.
hello. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Are you recording already or no?
Yeah. Everything is
Oh.
fine now.
No, this isn't part of the show. Is this part of the show or is this like pre-interview?
No, it's all the part of the show.
No, it's not. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Hi, you. What you been up to?
Hey, man, I'm good. I've just been chilling. I've just come back to London for a bit.
Do you
Just
live
been
in
working on
London?
I live in Bristol at the moment. Just before I upload my mind to the cloud and exist as a fully digital being, like in that movie Simone, or something like that. But yeah, I'm living in Bristol for a bit. And yes, I'm just back in London working on some stuff.
We will come back to that. What are you making? What's your practice about? Tell me about your
So my
practice.
practice is about, I don't know, because I'm a narcissist, most likely is my condition. Then I'd say my practice is mostly about myself, even though I kind of try to move away from that. A lot of the time, I guess, it's just sort of about how me and kind of our generation consumes content online and kind of interacts with the web, and how the lines are becoming less and less blurred between your real life and your digital life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You said like you are trying to go like take that phase far away now. Like, is that like you think like there's too many people making works about themselves, or what makes you feel like you need to take it away?
Oh, just because like you can get bored of yourself, and I just got bored of myself. I think I'd sort of, you can't really make work about your life if all you're doing is that. You need to actually have a life to begin with. So I guess it's about sort of being like living as much as you can, and then taking those experiences and putting them back into your practice, I think. And whether that means online, offline, whatever, sometimes it's just sort of about taking some time to work on a different project, or just do some research, or just kind of take stock of things.
Is that like somehow influencing your works that like you live in between two cities, like in Bristol and London, like offline wise, I guess.
I suppose maybe in like a subconscious way. I don't know if it has in like a physical way. It's not particularly influencing anything that I'm working on. A lot of the themes that I've been working on are the same themes that I've been dealing with for like quite a few years now. Those on kind of like online community and my relationship with online community. And yeah, that's not really changed too much. I guess the only thing that's changed is the like locations in which I'm making.
When did you start making work about online stuff?
I guess it must have been about 2 years now. Before that, I was doing mostly illustration based stuff, for money and just for myself as well. And then I realized that, yeah, I sort of just fell into it. It just seemed to be the themes that I was most interested in. I've always had a healthy and thriving life online, maybe more so than my real life at times,
Yeah.
mostly when I was like 14 and playing Counter-Strike every day. So yeah, it's just drawing from like my life experiences, and kind of by making my work more personal, it just quite naturally transitioned into being about online life.
Is that like how that changed in 2 years? Like, do you see like any big differences, like how you were looking at it 2 years ago and now?
It was probably better 2 years ago because I had less experience. I was pretty amateur at like video making. I could like, yeah, I hadn't really ever done too much like heavy editing and filming of works, so it was all like very much just intuitive of what I kind of just felt would look good, even though that maybe wasn't what did look good. I don't know. It was just more kind of working purely with intuition back then, and now I think I'm just, as you do become in life, I'm more learned
Yeah.
and just more like aware of kind of what stuff people would like want to see, and maybe even slightly too aware of kind of the audience for my work, which is something that I've sort of been discussing in it as well.
Like you're exhibiting offline and online as well. Where do you think like your audience deeply understands your work? Like which platform you will, not like you will prefer, but like which
Mm-hmm.
platform's audience is fitting better with your practice, understands it better?
I don't really know, to be honest. That's quite a difficult question. I can only, as I have like a biased view of my work, I can only kind of judge from what I have experienced and like the feedback that I've gotten. But I think in terms of the work that I want to make, it works better in an offline state, just because you can kind of like, because the whole idea around my practice is about bringing those kind of online experience into the real world. I
Yeah.
think the best way to kind of do that has been for me to make kind of more immersive installation stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just nice. It's nice to play with a physical space. And kind of nice to get out to see your work like go from your computer screen to another screen of like a different size or orientation, and then seeing how you can place that within the space is always super important, I think.
Because like I like from my own experience, like I learned that if I do something online, the audience, the people who watch that stuff are mostly younger generation, and they they might think like, oh, that's really cool. But when I
Right.
show something different or the same work in real life in a physical exhibition, there's a more like a elder generation, like over 30s, are saying like they don't give very much feedback on what they see online. It's more influential for them if they see it in physical exhibitions. That's why like I feel like it's the place where audience kind of separates, divides to into two places.
Maybe that. I think sort of communities are also kind of surprisingly small, and especially for kind of work which is in somewhat of a niche like my work, it's about sort of getting it out of the like particular audience of who
Yeah.
your Facebook friends are or who your Instagram followers are. And I think putting it into a kind of physical space helps with that in a way, and
Yeah.
kind of getting work out of the bubble, of just kind of who you know, basically. And I think kind of putting your work in a physical space sort of legitimizes that in a way.
Um, because like when I came back this year, I was having this very chat with my not friend, like the artist who is like in her 30s, and she was like, I was talking about Long Biennale and like what work I made for that, and when I said it's an online exhibition, she was like, oh, okay, so do you have any real exhibitions coming up? Like
Yeah,
this wasn't
yeah.
real
But
something for her.
she's not wrong. I don't think she's particularly wrong to say that. Like, I think online exhibitions are well and good and they're interesting. I don't know if I'd particularly count them in terms of kind of the effort I'm putting into an online exhibition versus what that you'd put into a kind of physical exhibition.
Yeah.
That's sort of different as well. I think maybe that will change, and it'd be really interesting if that kind of did change. And I think the idea of online spaces to present artworks is really interesting. But I think at the moment, without that connection to the physical, I can see why people might think that, or at least like believe that, because I'm sort of guilty of thinking the same thing, to be honest.
Um,
But
yeah. Do you have any exhibitions right now going on, or anything
yeah,
coming, or anything you did in last few months?
so nothing at the moment. But I just finished showing some pieces with Bob at Is This It?
Yeah.
At a gallery in New Cross. I think it was Take Courage, and I just finished doing the digital arts residency for the Wrong Biennale as well. So
What did you make for? Is it?
it was just showing some pieces from an exhibition that I did in collaboration with a guy called Stelios Ilchuk, who's a good friend of mine, who also made this T-shirt.
Oh, that's cool.
And we did an exhibition back in August, which was based all around kind of online community and building a kind of shrine to deceased online communities. And yeah, we just showed a few of the pieces from that with Bob just last month.
By the way, talking about as you said, Bob. I think like in that sense, like he does really good job, like how like blurring like real life exhibitions and online exhibitions, and how like his like most of his shows like they're accessible online, but also happening like in a pop up term in pop up gallery spaces, which is like very much perfectly like I think blurring these places like bringing them together, kind of. Um, do you have anything coming up soon?
We'll
Shows,
see. Just
exhibitions, residencies?
what's that?
Because like I always see like on Facebook, you're always busy doing some stuff. So I wonder if
That's what it seems like. Facebook can be very deceptive. Yeah, I guess. I think for me, it's just sort of about at the moment building up a good chunk of work, and then kind of deciding what I want to do with that and where I want to kind of exhibit that. I've sort of been the past few months, kind of with the move, I've been kind of taking stock of like hours and hours and hours of footage that I've created over the past like few months, and just seeing, and most of the kind of stuff that I make never really gets seen. It just kind of stays on a hard drive somewhere. So it's just kind of going through all of that and seeing what I did want to show, and kind of taking like little snippets out of kind of hour-long videos and being like, okay, this part's actually good. The rest of it's fucking shit, but this part's actually good. And kind of seeing what I can do with that material, and then kind of just basically to have like a completely clear slate to make like a new suite of works.
Is that like happens like all the time when like you're making something and then keeping it for the right place for the right show?
Yeah, I keep everything. I think you have to keep everything, and like in terms of having a kind of archive of works is always like super useful. You never know when you're going to use it, to be honest.
Like I mean, like don't you see like there's like a necessity of like making like I guess like it's also coming like an influence of the online stuff. Like as soon as you make something, you need to post it, you need to share it.
That's bullshit. I think I don't think that's true. Yeah, you can, but I think maybe I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm not completely. I don't feel particularly in tune with like social media too much, even though like I have it and it's like a useful tool. I don't know if I really want to like kind of just dump work on there without really thinking about it. I think for me it's but that's probably something that I should do more of, but it's just not something that particularly interests me. When like an opportunity comes up to do like an Instagram residency or something, then I'll start like unloading a bunch of pieces or kind of online stuff. It's just nice to kind of go through and be like, okay, this can work in kind of a 30-second snippet.
Yeah.
Because that's all you can post on social media or Instagram, and a lot of my work is time-based and long, and if I don't know, I'd rather sort of present everything in its final form rather than kind of give out snippets. But maybe, I don't know, who's to say whether that's right or wrong? It's just kind of how it ends up working.
Yeah, of course. How it depends how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It was amazing chatting to you.
Oh, cool. No worries, man.
It was my last question. So I will post like this on tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. And see you soon.
See you later.
Bye.